In problem number 12, we've got a curve and it goes through both points A and B. And then they tell us that at points C and D on the curve, the tangents are parallel to AB. They want us to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So we've got to kind of pull this apart. So the points C and D are actually on the curve. And the slopes of the tangent lines at point C and point D are both the same as the slope as the line AB. So a perpendicular bisector, we need to find a slope and a point. So let's start with finding the slopes of these two, finding the slope of AB. Now the slope of AB is 4, and the slope of the tangent line at point C is also 4. And the slope of the tangent line at point D is also going to be 4. So what we're going to do in this case is, instead of plugging an x value into the derivative and finding a slope, we're going to plug the slope of the tangent line into the derivative and then find the x value. So first we're going to start by taking the curve and rewriting it so I can do the power rule to find the derivative. I get the derivative is 3 plus 4x to the negative 2. Now again, in this case, I don't know what x is. I'm trying to find x. I do know the slope. The slope is 4. So I'm going to plug in the 4 where the slope would go. And then all I've got to do is get this x by itself. I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides and multiply both sides by x squared. And then x is going to be 2 or negative 2. So one of those x's is point C, and one of those x's is point D. So let's bring them over here. And now what we got to do is we're going to plug these x values back into the original equation. Remember, if I want to find points, I plug them into the original equation. So one of the points is going to be 2, 4. And then the other point, if I plug a negative 2 into the original equation, is going to give me a point or a y value of negative 4. So my 2 points are 2, 4, and negative 2, negative 4. Those are the points C and D. Now if I want to find a perpendicular bisector, well, first it's got to be perpendicular. So let's find out what's perpendicular to CD. And so all I'm going to do is take my y's and subtract them, and my x's and subtract them. And that's going to give me a slope of positive 2. Now the perpendicular slope is going to be negative 1/2. That takes perpendicular. Now bisector, that's the midpoint. So now I've got to find the midpoint of CD. Well, I'm going to find the midpoint by adding the 2 x's together and dividing by 2, and then adding the 2 y's together and dividing by 2. I'm going to find the midpoint is 0, 0. So now all I'm going to do is take this perpendicular slope and this point and find the equation of the line. Well, the line is going to be y equals 1/2 x. That's the perpendicular bisector. All right, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.